The axiom of absolute infinity presents us with a totality that encompasses all possibilities, all contradictions, all states of being and non-being simultaneously. Within this vast ocean of infinite possibility, we seek islands of understanding, pockets of meaning and knowledge that we can grasp, navigate, and make use of. To properly explore what we can comprehend, we need methodological principles to guide our inquiry. Occam's razor serves as our guiding principle. Among competing explanations, we should prefer the one making the fewest assumptions. This commitment to simplicity helps us identify more likely explanations by minimizing speculative elements. As we continue our journey, we encounter an unshakable certainty, the very act of doubt itself. As Descartes revealed through his method of radical doubt, while we can question everything else, the existence of doubt, and thus consciousness, is self-verifying. The doubter must exist to doubt. This gives us our first foothold, not through assumptions about reality, but by recognizing what is immediately present in the act of doubting. Yet from this foundation of certainty and consciousness, we face a temptation to posit a reality external to and independent of consciousness that we can meaningfully understand and investigate, a world from which consciousness supposedly emerges through complex interactions. This seemingly innocent idea creates a fundamental explanatory burden, the hard problem of consciousness. To understand the magnitude of this problem, consider a simple experience: watching a sunset. We can explain how light waves of different wavelengths interact with your retina, how neural signals travel through your visual cortex, and how different brain regions process color and form. Yet something remarkable remains unexplained: the actual experience of seeing those vibrant colors. While we can identify the neural correlates of perception and cognition, bridging the gap between these processes and the inner world of experience is still elusive. For centuries, philosophers have proposed various solutions to this puzzle. Materialism, the dominant view in modern science, asserts that consciousness emerges from brain activity. According to materialism, our thoughts, feelings, and experiences arise from neural firing patterns. However, this view faces a fundamental challenge. It must explain how purely physical interactions produce the subjective quality of experience. How does any arrangement of neurons create the taste of chocolate or the feeling of joy? This explanatory gap remains stubbornly opaque. Another view is dualism, which proposes that reality consists of two distinct realms, mind and matter. By positing consciousness as separate from the physical realm, dualism treats the mind as an independent, non-material entity. Yet dualism struggles to explain how mind and matter interact. How does a non-physical mind influence physical muscles when you decide to raise your hand? Both materialism and dualism rely on additional layers of explanation that complicate rather than resolve the hard problem of consciousness. Confronting these difficulties, idealism provides a beautifully simple and direct solution. Instead of trying to derive consciousness from matter or bridge two separate realms, idealism starts with what we know most directly: consciousness itself. Consider this fact. Everything you've ever experienced, from your earliest memory to this very moment, has occurred within consciousness. The physical world, other people, scientific theories, all of these are known only through conscious experience. By taking consciousness as the foundation of reality, idealism eliminates the need for extra explanations. It doesn't need to explain how consciousness emerges from non-conscious matter, or how two substances interact. Consciousness simply is. In this view, the physical world and its patterns emerge within consciousness. We have direct evidence that consciousness can generate realities. Every night when we dream, we experience proof that consciousness can create worlds with remarkable sophistication. These dreamscapes reveal that entire universes can be formed as vivid constructs of the mind, demonstrating consciousness's boundless creativity. Having established consciousness as fundamental through this logical simplicity, we can now explore how it structures the reality we experience using the distinction framework. Think of consciousness as an artist who works with the pure art of making distinctions. For example, when you perceive a tree, consciousness distinguishes it from the sky, the ground, and other objects. This framework shows how consciousness creates the ordered world we experience through a simple principle: existence requires distinction. For anything to exist meaningfully, it must be distinguishable from something else. Without differences, we would have only an undifferentiated void. Consciousness has the unique ability to make these essential distinctions. It first recognizes itself as distinct from everything else, establishing the primary differentiation between the self and non-self. This binary distinction is essentially one between certainty and uncertainty, the self that is immediately and undeniably known through direct experience, and the non-self that encompasses everything that might or might not exist. This fundamental uncertainty about everything outside our conscious awareness forms the basis for all subsequent distinctions. Through the process of making distinctions, consciousness transforms infinite possibilities into specific, structured experiences. Our subjective experiences, like the bitterness of bitter or the warmth of a cozy fire, aren't just labels for differences. They are the essence of what distinguishes one experience from another. Consciousness integrates these distinctions into a coherent experience, weaving isolated differences into a structured reality. Like a sculptor revealing form from marble through precise cuts, consciousness shapes reality through ongoing acts of distinction. This creates increasingly complex structures, from basic sensations to abstract concepts to entire experiential worlds. Consciousness is the fundamental reality. This is the core claim of idealism. This perspective not only resolves the hard problem of consciousness, but also offers a cohesive framework for understanding the world around us, not as a separate, independent entity, but as a dynamic manifestation of consciousness itself.